on on, on an incredibly newsworthy day for Tesla, which is a weak opening, I think, according to my co-host, Nicholas Gibbs. It was a very good day yesterday, a very good day today. Lots of news today. Didn't seem to change the stock's direction very much during the day, but let's start with where we are on the stock, where we're after two very nice up days and Randy's prediction of 500 by Halloween. What do you think happens in the next? We got more news tomorrow with the Fed and all of those earnings reports. We got more earnings reports on Thursday. I mean, we got all kinds of things coming up. What do you think happens the rest of the week?
Um, whew, with Tesla, put on my prediction hat. You say 500 by Halloween. I've been saying this since the very beginning of the year, 500, 550 by the end of the year. Remember that. I've been saying that all year, even when it wasn't popular in the 200s. But I think your sentiment, your direction is accurate, based on everything that I know, which is nothing. It looks like we should be heading neutral to up and to the right, at least going into the shareholder meeting. After that, I have other thoughts.
Oh, well, are you going to share?
Sure. Are you
Huh?
ready? I can share
Yeah.
now. Or
Yes, please share now. Yeah.
so I'm of the opinion that we're going to have a sell the news come the day of or the next day after the shareholder meeting.
Hmm.
And I feel pretty confident on that. Not saying that that means Tesla is over, it's all going to tank and all that,
Mhm.
but I think there's a good shot that we have a sell the news kind of moment there where people are just going to try to take some off the table, barring anything. I mean, I could be wrong, right? Tesla might say, "Hey, we're putting a steering wheel in the CyberCab and we're going to do mass production of this." That could happen, and that would change everything. They could
Where did you get such an idea?
they could announce, hey, these are the next 7 cities we're launching and we're announcing it today.
Yeah.
That would obviously change, but unless there's some external news event, something that happens that we're not aware of today, I'm of the opinion day of shareholder meeting or the next day, Tesla kind of sells off. Now, again, to your point, Randy, we might be at 525. In that case, who gives a F if we sell down to 500, right? It doesn't matter. My job here is not to tell you that I think we're going to be right now here at whatever we're at, 460, and sell down to 420.
Right.
It might be 525 and down to 500. It might be 1,000 down to 950. I don't know. But my point of view is that we're going to ride up until then. And then that's when the stock's going to take a breather.
Okay. Is that how you clap back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But on
I'm
the
clapping
tush.
back. I have this sense that the only thing holding back the FOMO on robotaxi and full self-driving is the decision about the uh, payment, Elon getting paid. That there's not very much of a chance that I think anybody that's paying attention figures it's going to pass by a landslide, but that there's still this little maybe there, and that otherwise
Well,
people would be looking at this, these FSD 14.1.4 and going, it's done, it's finished. We've had multiple people saying that are Wall Streeters, and that the stock should be blowing up closer to 600 just on the strength of that.
okay, so let's get our words accurate here. That way I can see if I can pin us against each other.
All right. Okay.
Right? The audience likes it when we get pinned against each other. Um, so let's get a little dirty here.
Okay.
Are you saying that you don't think that come the day of the shareholder meeting or right after that, that the stock is going to sell off?
Exactly. I think that
You're
once
saying they will be green days and it's going to be up.
after the shareholder
I'll
vote,
even give you neutral. Neutral.
no, no, shareholder vote,
No.
shareholder vote, the vote goes yes, stock goes up.
Okay. So
And I
today
and
is
I
October.
understand your news sell the news concept. And I'm not saying that sell the news isn't normal. I'm saying in this case, I think the news is holding back the stock.
And I'm telling you, it's all being priced in right now.
Okay.
All of it's being priced in right now. China's being priced in right now. The Fed's cuts are being priced in right now. Elon's comps being priced in right now. All that's being priced in right now. Don't fool yourselves. It is being priced in. The market is way, way, way better than any of you are when it comes to pricing things in. And every single time you think that, hey, I know what's going to happen as far as once this event happens, that that's going to be the unlock, I'm telling you, you're wrong. And you know what the worst part is? The market has a fickle way of making you feel like, oh, I was right. Because we just got done with earnings, right? And after earnings, guess what we didn't do? We didn't sell off. Right. So Nick, what are you talking about? We didn't sell off. The difference is we had something holding the stock up, and that was the shareholder meeting. That's my opinion. Now, I didn't say we would sell off after earnings. I actually said we would go up, right? And I was a very arrogant person, and I, shouted out, "I told you this would happen," right? As one does when they get things right. But I'm joking, obviously, guys. Hubris here. But I think come November 6th, we will be exhausted, or 7th, whatever the shareholder meeting is. What is it?
6th, I think.
Oh, okay. I was somewhat close.
On a Thursday.
So we'll see. Either way, it doesn't mean I think it's like get out of the stock kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, we'll see.
Just a dip, and then
if the vote fails,
if the vote fails,
get out.
Another level.
Yeah. I don't care how much you're down. Get out. It's going to go lower.
That's right. Yeah. So okay. So I continue to hold my year-end number at 750. 750 is dependent upon actual, let's call it 1,000. I think I've been saying 1,000, maybe even 500 vehicles with no rider in the passenger seat. 500 vehicles, 3 cities. Right? That's my deal. 500 vehicles, 3 cities, and we're at 750 at the end of the year. But if we're approaching that, if it looks like it's just imminent, I think we start moving up towards that $600 level after the meeting.
I think you're going to have 1 city by the end of the year. It's Austin. It'll probably be a last minute thing, and you're probably going to only have like 20 to 50 cars.
Okay. All right. If that happens, then I'm at 600, not 750.
Okay. Either way, I'll take it.
Okay. I'll take it too. Any cars without safety riders will be a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. So that's where we are on the stock. I think we kind of explained it. We haven't explained why it's been going up the last 2 days. Again, mine would be.
Oh, I just did.
Huh? Okay. Go.
Oh, I just did.
Oh, you just did. Okay. I think it's FOMO on the Robotaxi, and all of these. What is it now? 9 or 10 people raising the price target. I think those have been the 2 main things that have impacted.
I don't think raising price targets really moves the stock. I think the stock moving makes people raise their price targets. I think people have it backwards. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I say that is only because I don't know that the retail investors pay a lot of attention to those, but I think the street, the people who are not as highly, who aren't spending the amount of time that these specialists are on the stock, that are on the street, might be looking at their analysis as well as price target changes and making some decisions about moving up their participation.
I don't think anyone from Goldman Sachs looks at what anyone puts out there. I don't think a Ron Barron does. I don't think Kathy Woods does. I don't think a Dan Ives does. I don't think a Tom Lee does. I don't think any of them. I think it's literally just marketing. That's all it is. It's marketing so people come and invest in the company. That's all.
Therefore, I would be right then. But for the wrong reason. So you're saying if Goldman Sachs says, "Hey, we're raising our price target," then Goldman Sachs they're thinking that their investing community that listens to them will put more money into that stock.
Not quite. I think they think that's what will happen.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Just because someone thinks something will happen doesn't mean it will happen.
All right. Well, we've beaten that one to death. Let's move on. We do not want to admit on this channel that Farzad was right, and I'm going to make the claim that Farzad was only right in part. and maybe his reasons for being right were wrong, or his reasons for thinking he's right are wrong. But let's just start off by explaining what happened. And you're a buddy of Farzad. I don't know. I'm on the side. I'm not invited. So I'll let you explain why Farhad is very happy today.
Yeah, sure. Man, I really wish I could
Oh,
find my post.
okay. All right.
Well, why don't you tell people a little bit while I see if I can find
Oh,
this real quick?
so Farzad has been saying for a week or so, maybe less than a week, that they ought to put a steering wheel and pedals in the CyberCab, so that it would now be a very cute two-seater that everybody would want to buy. And everybody else has been saying, oh, that's a complete redo and a remake. And Brian White has said it's, complicated. And why would they do that? And other people are like, well, that's the opposite of what Elon wants to accomplish. He wants to get the steering wheel out of all cars. Why would he be putting a steering wheel in a car that's not designed for it? And that discussion has been going on back and forth. So is that enough of an introduction? Do you want to take over now?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to find this in time. I post too
Oh,
much on X apparently.
fair.
Um, Long story short, I came out in defense of Farzad
Uh-huh.
because I saw a lot of people, maybe a bunch of you listening, who decided to come out there and criticize a man for putting a opinion out there. When it's funny, the people, especially in the Tesla community, the influencers who have some of the biggest names in the community, yet never put an actual opinion out there, an idea out there. They are nothing but, well, I'll choose my words carefully here, but they just post things that have no opinion or any risk of being wrong or criticized. They don't actually step up to the table. They're not in the arena. And those people decide to come out and rail against Farzad, not when he put his opinion out there, but only when a Tesla AI engineer decided to reply. Then they all decided to pile on.
I see.
Up until then, they sat in their corners, sitting there in their little foxholes. And then once they're like, hey, look, someone from Tesla just asked him a question that maybe challenges it. Let me pile on now. And you know what? We had Omar do it. We had Sawyer do it. We had Warren do it. We had Nick Cruz do it. Yeah, I'm choosing violence today, apparently. They all did it. And I told all of them to essentially shut the F up unless they're going to actually sit there and be in the arena. I don't like it when people criticize the man in the arena when they're not in the arena. So I think that is why Farzad is coming back with a vengeance. Because, and I disagree with your take here. I think Farzad is spot on, to be honest. I think he's 100% accurate. And I think his reasons are 100% accurate. That it makes no sense for Tesla to make a line for robotaxis that won't be able to be used at maximum efficiency. It does not make sense from an economic sense. It does not make sense from a mechanical engineering perspective. It doesn't make sense from a I don't like entropy point of view. The idea is to maximize the rate of the line. And the only way to do that is to be able to also sell these vehicles to the masses. You could build a bunch of them, sell them to South America, sell them to Europe, because guess what? We're not going to have autonomy approved everywhere. We're not even going to have the ability, by the time that line's up and running, there's a really good chance we will not be able to use them as robotaxis in the United States without steering wheels or pedals. So you need to have your plan B. Or what was initially the plan B in the Walter Isaacson book that came out, I believe, in 2022, which was the plan all along. So I think this criticism on Farzad is honestly a joke, because this has been the plan all along, as far as we know, for the past 5 years. So yes, rightfully, Farzad's going out and he's slaying the demons who try to come after him, who decided to just sit there and criticize only once they had the air coverage of a Tesla AI engineer who didn't even criticize him. All he did was ask, what would you do? Or how would you build a certain type of vehicle? That's all they did. That's
So
it.
I think we need to make sure that we tell the entire news story, which is that Robin Denholm, the chairman of the board, came out today and said, "Yeah, this is a possibility. This is something we could do, depending on what happens between now and then. We could actually re-engineer our, I forget exactly how she said it, but there would be re-engineering required because it isn't engineered for that now, apparently. So they have to re-engineer, make the decisions, retool for that, and then they could do that." And she said virtually almost exactly what you just said, which is, we don't want to be in a situation here where we have equipment that's just sitting idle because the regulators haven't made a decision, or even because the uptake is not as fast as we're expecting.
She said that on Bloomberg today.
Mhm.
But if you caught her on Squawk Box yesterday with Andrew Ross Sorkin, Becky Quick, and Ron and Joe Kernan,
Mhm.
she did, through a slip of the tongue, mention that they are working on more models right now, more vehicles right now. And she said in a plural sense, like you had to be listening to it, you had to know what you were listening for it, but it is insinuated that there's something else going on as well.
Mhm.
So yes, that is essentially what's giving credence to it. But it's not just her saying this. Like again, it's been a known thing. It's been in Walter Isaacson's book. Like we've known this all along. Elon literally just got done saying the other day on the earnings call, I was paranoid about going all in on more volume and all that until recently.
Right.
Right? Like
Right.
kind of all the signs are there. It's
Mhm.
just, do you want to hear it or not? And I get it. Everybody's like, no, 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 that's not the more affordable vehicle. That was what we just got with the 3 and Y. It's like, guys, don't be so foolish. There's a really good chance that this was the plan all along to use the unboxed methodology with the CyberCab line, all that. But guess what? They're running behind schedule. Oh, surprise, surprise. And so they are going to unveil a more affordable vehicle, but it's not going to come out until next year. Like, I
Okay.
think that's
And
100%
so,
feasible.
right. And so one of the things that hasn't been talked about yet is if this new vehicle does come out, if they do it with steering wheel and pedals, will it also use different seats and different and come back to having some of the accoutrement that you normally have in a vehicle that you're using as a daily driver?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So
I
it
think
won't
it'll
just
be
be,
4 seats. I think it'll be 4 doors.
oh, you think be 4 doors and 4 seats? 4 doors. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not this, not the fun door, not the
No,
gullwing door. Okay,
that's the whole point of an unbox method,
because you can do all
is
that.
that you can do all this and it doesn't disrupt anything. You don't have to change the line. Guess
Mhm.
what? Hey, when we bring in the door or the siding for the vehicle, oh, we'll bring in this side instead of that side. They're ready to go. Everything else is the same. Instead of having such a big trunk, bring this trunk. Instead of having just 2 seats, all right, we're gonna bring these 4 seats.
Mm,
Like that's the whole point, is
got it.
to be able to have that modularity of it. Like what's the point of even doing an unboxed method unless you're gonna do more than one type of vehicle on that line?
Mhm, mhm.
Otherwise, what's the point? The point is for the modularity.
Okay, and so what we believe from the Isaacson book and what we believe from Elon's statements in the last couple of years is that at some point he went, we don't need that because we don't want to sell cars with steering wheels anymore anyway. So it's interesting that Robin is slipping the tongue yesterday, maybe making clarity today, because she slipped because of the slip of the tongue yesterday, or is this a internal discussion that's going on and she wanted to make it public? What do you think?
I guys, just look at the Elon's comp plan. Look at the numbers he has to give for deliveries. It has to happen. It
Mm.
has to. Like
Okay.
I think there's a misconception about what's going to happen with autonomy. I don't think it's going to play out the way everyone thinks it's going to play out. I don't think we're going to live in a world where people don't buy cars anymore. I don't think that's what's going to happen. Uh, and the reason is because car ownership is still something that's very, I don't know. We like, it's an extension of our house, for example. It's like we have computers, we've got cell phones, we got iPads, we got computer screens, but guess what? We still have a TV.
Mhm, mhm.
Like yes, you can have very cost-effective robotaxis. You can have your own put in the fleet, but guess what? Some people want to leave their car seat for their kids in the car. Some people want to leave their golf bag in the car. Some people, if they're a traveling tile salesman, guess what? They want to leave their stuff in the car. And so I think the better way of thinking about it is that autonomy will allow for the deflation of the vehicles so that more people can actually buy vehicles, but at the same time giving the option for people. I think you'll see more people not owning vehicles, but at the same time you're going to see a lot of people still owning vehicles.
Okay.
Right. So like currently right now, the people on lower end of the income brackets, they don't own vehicles, right? They ride the bus, they ride the subway, right? It's expensive. I could see that segment growing, right? Especially as we have further distribution curve extremes when it comes to wealth gaps, right? I could see that growing, but because then people don't have to, pay for car insurance or maintenance or any of those things. But at the same time, I can also see that it becoming so much cheaper, the cost of ownership goes down, that you have a lot of people still wanting to buy a vehicle because it's just convenient to just have it right there in your driveway. Like, yeah, I could call it, but you know what? It's really easy just to it be there.
So I know that I never have new ideas or suggest completely new approaches. So
What are you talking about? You're just jazz. You riff.
yeah. So yes, so I've been talking about for the last 4 or 5 days, maybe you've caught it, maybe you haven't, that we need to flip the script entirely.
Flip
So
it, baby.
flip,
What is
flip,
it?
flip the script entirely. So it's not to say that I'm disagreeing with Farzad. I'm not saying that I'm disagreeing that we might need this as an interim play, but rather I think the change in the script should be, instead of going hand in, with our hands praying to NHTSA and saying, please, please let us have more than 2,500 cars. Please, please, approve these cars for the road. We should be going to NHTSA and saying, this should be required. This is like, I don't know, 10 times more effective than seatbelts in terms of curing the problem of people dying in cars. This is 10 times, probably save 600,000 major injuries a year, save millions and millions of dollars in legal fees and court and costs in the court. And so therefore it should absolutely be required, just like seatbelts and other kinds of safety devices.
No, I don't think you would want that.
I wouldn't.
I don't think that would be good for shareholders.
Why not?
Because it could get relegated to a potential, I don't know, utility or something that I feel like it could go a bad way. It could be considered a monopoly. It could be considered the utility. Like government could really screw it up for investors.
Well, the good news is today, our other big story kind of suggests that would be maybe easier to sell now. Yesterday, I think it would have been a hard sell for some of the reasons you're saying, but I still think that if anybody walked into any department of government and said, I can save 34,000 lives a year and 600,000 deaths serious injuries a year, that person would be, hoisted on the shoulders and paraded around the room, because there's like no products that do that. So I think it would be an easy sell. But now it got easier in terms of your statement, because NVIDIA says we're going to partner with like 8 companies. We're going to partner with Uber. We're going to partner with Stellantis, all these different companies. And we're going to make sure that by 2027, I think it is, let's call it 2020, late 2027, maybe 2028, they're going to be installing full self-driving capabilities into 100,000 cars in 2027, and then many more going forward.
I don't know if you're joking with me right now.
That's what it was.
Like,
That came out today.
no, I know that's what came out, but like the proper take is that clearly NVIDIA is just trying to have another sales segment, and so they're trying to sell the picks and shovels for autonomy sector for these companies that are never going to be able to achieve it because they don't have the data. They don't even have the means to get the data. They don't have the engineers to know how the data set. They don't have any of it. But Lord knows Jensen will sell you the picks and shovels so you can think that you can do it. And after you spent maybe about a couple $100 million, you realize, oh, damn, this problem's a lot harder than we thought.
All right, so let's go back in time. It's 20, 30.
It's shelfware. That's
Let's
all
go,
it is. It's
let's go
shelfware.
back 45 or 50 years ago, and somebody walks into the NISTA and says, "I gotta get these airbag things, and I can make them work, and these airbag things will save 2,000 lives a year." And NISTA goes, "Okay, we have to make those mandatory if we're going to save 2,000 lives a year plus a bunch of injuries." And oh, by the way, sometimes they might actually injure the passenger or injure the person, but most of the time it's going to be overall, it's going to be a great thing to save 2,000 lives, 2,000 lives a year. NISTA makes it mandatory. They didn't go out and say, oh, how many different companies can make airbags? They didn't go out and say how many, how fast can the industry change? They said, you guys have 3 years. 3 years from now, you must have for free airbags in your vehicles that do this and this and this. Same thing that they did with lap belts. Same thing that they've done with what do you call it? The brakes, all four around. What's that called? Where they. You're so young, you don't remember we didn't have them, right?
I don't know what you're trying to
say. Brakes that are able to adjust rather than all four just have the brakes go on at once. There's a name for that. Again, it's been 30, 40, 50 years that they've had those.
Brake pads?
No, it's adjusting. The brakes adjust themselves as the braking is happening, so you don't go into a skid, so you don't go start to flip your car around or whatever.
Not sure what the term is.
I know. Like I say,
Corvette should buy some of those.
Anyway, so NISTA didn't say, okay, what they said was, okay, this technology is possible in 3 years. Everybody will have to have this. And they were only talking a couple of thousand lives a year. We're talking about 34, if everybody had full self-driving, 34,000 lives per year.
Okay. So, all right. I really didn't want to make this about I didn't think there was going to be about airbags and FSD regulation. So first of all, here's my opinion. Tesla will not wait for the government. All right. Tesla doesn't market things. They don't try to push sales. They don't do any of that. They're not even going to start now with marketing. They're not even good at marketing their own earnings call. All right. That earnings call, I guess we haven't really talked since then, was pathetic. Right? They easily could have came out, said, opening statements, hey, we're doing great with autonomy. We're going to be in 8 to 10 cities by the end of the year. FSD 14 is looking very promising. The new vehicles are going great, right? We are planning on going, city by city. We'll start off with 3 months, then we'll pull the safety driver. We're planning on Austin, removing the safety driver by the end of the year. Things are going great. They could have done all that. Instead, we had to pull teeth to get any of that information out. So Tesla came and sell their own stuff well. All right. They're pathetic at it. They're good at what they're good at. They're pathetic what they're pathetic at. All right. Now, that leads me to believe they are not going to try to petition the government. They might try a little bit here and there just to be able to keep doing what they're doing. But I don't think they're going to sit there and try to push anything. Why? Because let's just look at the history of it. Well, first of all, FSD is not airbags. All right. Anyone can make an airbag. That wasn't difficult. You can reverse engineer it. You can figure out how to build it. There's nothing really proprietary about that. All right. FSD, a lot different. Keep in mind, airbags were first invented in the 1950s. All right. And it wasn't until the 1990s before it was actually required. All right. Between all that, there was, there were the automakers refused to use it. There were lawsuits. They were in courts. The Reagan administration got involved on it, and they overruled some things. Lots of lobbies, lots of stalemates, huge things with lawsuits and exploding airbags and liabilities, and continuing fears of lawsuits until finally, the what was it? The Intermodal Surface Transportation Efficiency, something like that, stepped in around 1998, 1997, that required it, right? There's like a compromise to phase them in slowly. So that went from it took almost 50 years before they could start slowly phasing it in. Tesla's not waiting for that. They're not going to wait for the government. So I don't see anything like that
I
happening.
didn't say that they should wait. I said that we, the community, we should flip the switch.
I don't care. I don't care about the government. I don't want them to mandate anything. I don't. The government should not be involved at
Well, okay,
all.
that's a whole other story. We could talk about conservative thinking versus liberal thinking.
It's
Blah,
got
blah,
nothing to
blah.
do with conservative thinking.
Oh.
Look, I'm a capitalist. I don't want the government involved.
Yeah.
If Ford
Well,
decides that this is what they need for their clients, for their customers, then Ford will get it. Look, I'm also someone who's against TSA. I don't think TSA should exist. I think Delta should have their own security. United should have their own security. And guess what? They will do a better job because you know what? Delta does not want to have a 9/11 on their airline, so you better believe they're going to have some damn good security. That's what I believe, rather than just generic. If you're TSA, I'm not nothing against you, but let's just be honest. Not everyone there is of the highest quality. You're getting paid the best, but I like to let the system work. I like to let capitalism work. Let the market work. And I think if Ford feels that they need this for their clients, this is a must. If people are dying in their vehicles, but they're not in Teslas, if the Teslas can drive themselves and give people all this time back, but Ford can't, the market will figure this out. They will be forced. They will be forced to either go bankrupt or adopt it, or it just won't make a difference. And it was never what we thought it was as shareholders. But let the market do its thing. Government, stay the hell out of it. Let capitalism work.
All right. So the other side of that one is the government is already in it. So NIST is sitting there and it says they can only do 2,500 vehicles, even though it would save 34,000 lives a year. So the government is in the middle and in the midst of the problem already. They've already made all these other mandates with regard to the things you have to have in order to be safe. In fact, like every part of the vehicle, the crumple zone and the kind of tires and the tires, I mean, just from stem to stern, the government's making all the decisions. So therefore, if the government's already making all the decisions, why would you be against the government unless you get rid of NISTA and you say, okay, open season, make whatever kind of car you want to, and if it kills people, it kills people. If that would be the right way to go as a capitalist. And by the way, I'm as conservative as you are, and I believe that I'd like to have regulations as low as humanly possible. But if the government's already in it, then why wouldn't you want them to be in it on the most life-saving device ever created?
Because I don't want more government in it.
Okay, all right.
Right? It's going to be really hard to get rid of government that's already in it. But it doesn't mean we need they're already in it. It doesn't mean we need to invite them even deeper into it.
Okay.
Right? At this point, just leave it off. Like, look, I'm not against regulation. There is regulation. It is good to have some safeguards. It is good to slow some companies down like Tesla, right? It is good to slow them down and make sure, certain things are happening the right way. But what it shouldn't do, you shouldn't have the requirement for Ford to buy FSD. You can have a requirement to say, hey, Ford, listen, you guys can build cars, but if you're having X amount of deaths per miles with your cars, I don't care what you do, but that's not acceptable. That's not safe on our roads. That's different. That's not telling them what technology they need to put in there. That's not telling them, how to do it. Maybe all they have to do is put a camera in there to monitor their drivers. And hey, if that driver starts texting and starts falling asleep or misbehaving, it notifies their insurance company and their insurance rates go up. Maybe that's the process. There's all kinds of different ways you can make it so that your vehicles have less accidents per mile or per miles. That's fine. But I don't think we want to get into the game of government saying, hey, you have to use this technology in this way, in this manner. You want to avoid that. Okay. That's a slippery slope.
So let me see if I get it. So if Tesla can prove by data that they're only having one accident per 6 million miles, you could see a regulation that would say 3 years from now, everybody has to have vehicles that can show through data that they're only having at the very most one accident per 6 million miles, or they can't, the car can't be sold.
Well, that would be a more honest way of doing it, right? It's just like, a vaccination has to have a certain efficacy.
Right.
right? I don't care how you get to that. I don't care what technology. I don't care how you put the molecules together. But it can't be that you have one person that gets cured for every 1 million. That doesn't have good efficacy, right? So yeah, like there's like certain like, hey, figure it out. I don't care, but we got to kind of control our population, and we can't have people dying every 2 minutes on a highway, or every time they get a cold or a flu and they want to go take a flu shot. It can't be that half the people are sitting there paralyzed afterwards. That's not cool.
All right, so now let's get to the specifics of the situation with NVIDIA and all these other car makers. You've already indicated that you think that NVIDIA is just trying to sell
It's a
picture
sales
double,
scheme. Yeah.
and you think that so then you therefore believe that. Now, would you believe that whatever they're going to sell them is going to be more and more sophisticated as an ADA, even though it may never get to the level of Tesla's FSD?
No, it's not even going to be that. It's not an ADAS. That's not what they're going to sell them. They're going to sell them the tools to maybe go and figure out how to create your own ADAS and to go train your own thing. But they don't know how to do it. You know what they're going to, this is what they're doing. They'll sell you the servers because you need them. They'll sell you the GPU. Well, they're not going to sell you servers, right? Dell or HP will sell you the servers. They'll sell you the GPUs because you need them to do the training, right? And then, hey, you know what else we'll do? We'll sell you this fancy software suite that you might want to use for your training. You know, that's like a little geared towards autonomy, but really it's the same thing that we have for everything else, but we're going to put a little pizzazz on it to make it look like it's for autonomy. That way our margins are the same. We're literally taking the same thing we have, kind of doing a little rebranding and making that for autonomy. Hey, guess what? We're going to do that again. A little rebranding. Hey, now this is for humanoids. Hey, guess what? We're going to do this again, make it for this other thing. That's all they're doing, right? Like it's brilliant what they're doing, but they're not selling actual software that is going to have the cars drive themselves. They're not. Like, mark my words, it's not. This is just a brilliant salesmanship. That's all it is. We'll give you the art of the possible. That's it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Interesting.
Let me just, sorry, one other thing.
Yeah.
All the big cloud companies, right?
Yep.
Everyone's talking about AI.
Right.
Guess what? Come to AWS. Come to Azure. Come to GCP. You can build anything you want with AI here. Guess what? We have different models. We have different platforms to build, right? We have this whole pipeline system that you can use for your ML training. We got these data lakes where you can dump your data. Hey, you want to ETL it? Hey, we got that as well. But you know what they're not doing? They're not selling you the actual solution to do the thing you're trying to do. They just give you the picks and shovels. And guess what? You can do a lot of cool things, and it is possible. You can do amazing things, but they're giving you the ability to go help yourself, right? I'm giving you all the ingredients. I'm giving you the house. I'm giving you the kitchen. I'm giving you the pots and the pans. I'm giving you the uncooked rice, the meat that's in the freezer. But you're the chef. Go cook. And if you don't know how to cook, I'm sorry. And if you don't have a cookbook, I'm sorry. And if you don't have Grok to be able to tell you step by step and what order and what recipe and how to bring it up to temperature slowly and how to make sure that you got nice Maillard reaction, so you got that nice crust on that steak, I'm sorry. That's on you.
All right. So let's leave Tesla for a minute because I have one big story on the economy. This is from 𝐄𝐦𝐚𝐢𝐿, who I commonly believe has great data and terrible analysis, but that's okay. Every once in a while, he even gets the analysis right. He says, this has been a historic earnings season. So far, 69%, a great number, of U.S. companies have beaten revenue expectations in quarter three. This is the highest since quarter four of 2021. He says this marks a significant improvement from 53.3 a year ago. He says also on track to be the fifth strongest quarter in the last 13 years, at least 13 years, in fact. By comparison, the record during this period was 83.1. However, all eyes are on the Magnificent Seven stocks, which are set to report this week. Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta, and Microsoft all in the same week. Collectively, they reflect 25% of the S&P's 500 market cap. Big tech is on deck. Are you expecting 5 beats and 5 good guidances? And what happens next?
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to project what I think is going to happen with the earnings for those companies. What I'll say, because for example, Tesla missed on earnings, right? Yet Tesla is knocking all-time highs.
Yeah.
Netflix missed earnings, but really it was just a Brazilian tax hit that they had. Had it not been for that one-time tax hit, Netflix crushed earnings, but Netflix tanked, right? I think like 20% or something like that. So the earnings aren't necessarily telling you the picture, is what I would say. We're in an interesting market where it's not a good market. Let's just be clear. It really isn't. It's a good market for about 7 to 10 companies. If you take them out, the rest of the market's not doing great. But I don't personally like when people like try to create their little boxes like that and say, hey, it's actually a really bad stock market, it's a really bad time to be invested. It's just these companies happen to be holding everything up. I don't like that because it's the same way when I hear people say, hey, if you took all the AI spending out, GDP is actually crap. I'm like, all right, but it is happening. So, and it's like, how do you know where that money would go if there was no AI? It maybe would go somewhere else and we would still have this GDP. You have no idea. So it's just a stupid argument and it's made by stupid people. And if you hear stupid people make stupid arguments, don't listen to them or you're stupid. All right. I feel strongly about that. Listen to people who are right a lot. It's not that hard. It really, Randy, I'm on X all the time. It's crazy. People like to listen to people who are wrong a lot instead of the people who are right over and over and over and over. You know. Anyways, what I would say though is that you are going to continue to see money plow into these 7 to 10 companies. All right. I say 7 to 10 because it's not just a Mag 7.
Right.
You know, Palantir's in there. I don't know if you consider Netflix a Mag 7, but they're in there. AMD's in there now, right? So it's like, it's probably more like 7 to 15 companies, really. Mm-hmm. But they're the ones that are taking all the oxygen because they're the ones that are actually doing really good things, really great things, mm-hmm. you know? And even some of them aren't really doing much. Like Apple's kind of a laggard, but guess what? They just hit the $4 trillion market. So money's going to the companies that are either showing, hey, we know what's going on here with the AI and we're making big bets in a very meaningful way, or to the companies that we know you're going to eventually figure it out and we're going to keep backing you, right? Like there's these safe havens. Apple's a safe haven, I would say. So I think the market's going to continue to grind higher. I think these earnings are kind of a non-event in many ways. Like I do think they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to be bad earnings, but I think that's missing the bigger story. And I think that's falling into the myopic paradigm of quarterly earnings rather than seeing the bigger picture of what's happening. Some stocks have been able to, remove themselves from that kind of myopic quarterly, cudgel that Wall Street likes to put it in. For example, Tesla, right? Tesla is one of those companies. Tesla's not where it's at because it's earnings. You better believe it's not. But it's because people are like, okay, we don't really care about earnings each quarter. It's what's the bigger picture. Right. Palantir is one of those companies, right? So you have these companies that exist, but in general, I would say for those 7 to 15 companies, it's going to be less about earnings and more about their direction, where they're going, their messaging about the future. It's not about today. Today's already happened. What are you doing for me tomorrow? And I think that's what's more important.
And do you expect that guidance to be optimistic and enthusiastic?
For those top 7 to 15 companies, I do. Mm-hmm. I expect all of them to be good and optimistic and not BS. The only one that I would maybe like squint at would be Apple. But the rest of them, I don't think it's BS. I think they're all doing really good things. They have money to back it. They have the talent. They have the resources. They have their own kind of like proprietary niche, right? Like Tesla has unique data, unique engineers. They have Elon. They have all their data centers, right? The cloud companies, they have lots of data. They have lots of clients, and they know compute. They know data centers. A company like Palantir, guess what? They have their own special secret sauce with their ontology and everything they've done, and they've got market share, market leadership. They got Alex Karp, right? Netflix, well, guess what? They're Netflix, and they're gonna be able to start creating more content. I mean, I don't know if you watch K-pop Demon Slayer. You probably didn't, but fantastic. I, I watched it before our son was born. Go watch it. Fantastic, right? But you're starting to see more and more of this, and these companies actually have a real product roadmap with what's going on. And yeah, so I think the vision is going to be really good. Apple is the company that you just are always disappointed by, but you just figured they've got so much money. They're still Apple. Nothing right now is going to displace, how good a MacBook is or how good this iPhone is. Nothing's going to displace that right now. At least not that we can see. Nothing's going to displace my iPad right now. And they have a lot of money. And worst case scenario, they can keep buying back their own stock until they figure it out. Because eventually you have to think they will figure it out.
Well, then maybe they'll get a new CEO that'll be more of like a founder.
Yeah, I really do think Tim Cook needs to go.
Yeah,
Like, I hate to say it because it's like he got the special christening from Steve Jobs, but at this point, it's like, dude, what have you done? Like, sure, the stock's great, but put the stock aside from a product perspective.
Yeah.
Like, really, the most innovative thing you've done since Jobs is these AirPods.
Yeah.
And even that, you got the technology from this by buying Beats
Yeah.
by Dre, and you paid what, like a couple $1 billion for that to be able to do this. Like,
so okay, so we have multiple people now. Well, when I say multiple, I'm going to forget his name, but it's Tom Lee's partner, or one of the other partners in the firm who also does a lot of pods. I'm forgetting his name right now. He thinks we will see a dip before the end of the year in the S&P, well, in the equities, but then finish strongly. So he's not.
You think maybe it happens around right about when the shareholder meeting is?
Oh, you think that's you? So you think there'll be a general dip, and that Tesla will just be part of it?
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying. You'll see.
All right. So he thinks there'll
You'll
be a
see.
possible.
You guys will all see.
He's believing there will be a dip in the equities before the end of the year, but then finish. I think Tom Lee is saying over 7,000 now. Then Kathy Wood, though, she came out today. She thinks it'll go strong till the end of the year, but we'll have the dip in the first quarter. Any thoughts?
I've been thinking about the first quarter a lot. And let me plug real quick. If you guys, I'm going to selfishly plug here. If you guys aren't subscribed to me on X, it costs $1 a month. It's going to get raised to $3 here soon, but go do it. I'm going to do a space soon with only my subscribers to really talk about trading and what I think is going on in the market, what I see coming up, and really just, to talk to everybody who's a subscriber and just have a conversation for, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, something like that. But, one of the things that I want, I've been working through my head, and, I want to pick the brain of the community and everyone, is how we're thinking about going to 2026. Last few years, going into the new year, you would have been better off selling everything that first day, right? That January 3rd, January 2nd, whatever the first trading days, you would have been better off selling everything and going away
for the first week or something for 10 days.
No, not the first week.
Oh.
I mean, a lot of January was up this year, but by February into March into April, you just saw everything go on a slide. Just look at Tesla. Tesla peaked on, I think, December 22nd. After that, it was all down, right up until essentially April 4th, April 4th, and then Trump Elon feud, and then continued. But what my point is, like, you've seen this for a few years now, where you kind of would have been better off like taking chips off the table. I'm not saying you have to go complete cash if you don't want to, but you'd been better off taking chips off the table. What's the worst thing that happens? You took chips off the table. Okay, who cares if you miss the next 50 points up? Like, really, who cares? Pretty much everybody, their portfolio is at all-time highs. All right? Don't be greedy. Who cares? Who literally cares if you miss the next 100 points? Why does it matter? Is it worth missing next 20, 40, 50, 60, 100 points up, if it means you had the chance that we see what happens.
Bought back in.
Yeah, exactly. You could have taken some off table, seen a 10, 15, 20 point drop, because it's what markets do, and then put back in. And it's just, and again, the worst case scenario, you just took some off the table. You just, times are good. When times are good, don't be greedy.
So,
but anyways, I've been thinking a lot about this, about what I want to do.
Right.
And so so you brought that up. So it's a really good question. Or not question, but it's really interesting that Kathy's saying that, because it's something I've been thinking a lot about.
So one of the things that nobody's talking about, and I didn't come up with this, somebody else I saw the headline, read it, and I was like, oh yeah, he hadn't thought about that. In February, starting around February 1st, but more February 15th to February 30th, we're going to get a stimulus, a huge stimulus, almost like a COVID stimulus, of people getting way more money back from the government than they're expecting to, and way more than you normally get, because people have not adjusted the amount that's being taken out of their check based on no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, Social Security benefits being the change in Social Security benefits. I think there's a fourth one, but between those four, it's going to be a huge amount of money that people are going to get in their tax refunds. That is going to be very stimulative in the first quarter.
Sorry about that. I just got interesting. I just got a weird message.
Oh, did you hear what it said?
I did.
Okay. You can still multitask. You're young. You can still multitask.
Well, I'm kind of young. I actually have a birthday coming up, so I don't.
This is 35.
It is 35, Randy. So you remembered.
Oh, I know.
Guys, go like and subscribe on Randy. He remembered.
and buy the book. You forget.
Oh, yeah, and buy the book.
Buy the book. Buy the book. All right. So what do you think? You think that's going to matter? The article was saying it's going to be big time.
I tend to have kind of a little bit of a contrarian take on things. Not intentionally.
No.
And
I'm an optimist. Here we go.
You're an optimist? Get out of here. I don't know. I don't know if I really have an opinion. What do you think?
Oh no, I mean,
you think so?
Social Security, anybody that earns money in their late 60s and 70s is paying substantial. I'm paying substantial amounts of money to the government because of my Social Security checks for my wife and myself. It's a lot of money. And this year it's going to drop by a lot. I took a few thousand off the table because I do estimateds, so I can say, well, okay, I'm going to estimate a little lower. But most people haven't changed. They haven't changed what's coming out at all, and it's all going to come in the refunds.
But what do you think? Do you think people are gonna? What do you think people are gonna do with the changes? Do you think they're gonna?
The three that I'm remembering right now: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. That's going to help who? That's going to help the working class. Okay, so that's going to be
overtime. Yeah, tips. I don't think most people report their tips.
Oh no, you can't. You don't get away with it anymore. You have it goes through it goes through the, what do you call it? The debit and credit.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh, they do. True. No, I know this for a fact. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So no, you have to report it. You have to pay taxes on it, Social Security and everything. So I don't know. Looks like a big number to me and could be very stimulative.
Yeah. Yeah, potentially. But I also think a lot of people will start to hoard money.
If you mean the money that they get in, they'll just save it.
I think so. I think, well, one of two things. Either it'll be people save it because people are starting to get into a very, I don't know, tight situation financially, or they'll need to spend it just to keep up with current expenses. Yeah, so I don't know if it'll be really stimulative as much as kind of maintain status quo. I don't know. I don't have a lot of thought on it or opinions on it, but I don't think it'll be as I think will be more stimulative, Randy. Will be rates getting cut, people refinancing, and then now, if I was at 6.5% rate on my house, now I'm at 5.5 or 5, and if I save $1,000 a month now, like that, I would say would be more stimulative.
Yeah, well, that should be part of it as well. Tesla is only down 80 cents in the overnights. That's counting everything, counting the pre-market and the overnight, down to 459.61. We've already talked about my call and your call for the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the year. Well, the end of the week and the end of the month are the same thing. All right. So let's see here. Then let's go on and take a look. Bonds, last time I checked, we're doing great. Bonds. They're here somewhere. Here we go. Down another 0.6. So we're now at 3.977. I am continuing to take my victory lap there, even though all I said was it would be under 4. I didn't say it would stay under 4, but I'm very happy that it's staying under 4, and it was down nicely today. Tomorrow with the cuts, and if we get a dovish response from the Fed, do you think the 10-year goes down more?
Do you think we're going to get dovish? I don't think we're going to get dovish.
Is it going to be neutral?
Neutral to maybe a little hawkish.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. That'll be interesting.
I could be wrong. Obviously I can be wrong. I didn't think Jerome Powell would be dovish last time, and he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. If he is dovish, do you think the 10-year continues to go down?
No. I think it's priced in already.
Okay. All right. And let's see here. We've got oil still sticking in there right about $60, down up just a little bit in the pre-market. Natural gas down another 3%, but it was way up there. $3.25 is still pretty good. Do you remember what the number is? I keep forgetting now what the number is that the oil industry wants natural gas to be at so they can make money off of their burn off.
I'm an oil guy. I don't know natural gas.
I don't know about natural gas. Well, that's an oil issue.
Different worlds.
All right. So I got this one. This one's going my way too. Remember, yeah, I get to take a few victory laps too. Gold is now under 4,000. It bounced up against 4,400 twice, but didn't go over. It's now at 3,976. Am I going to be right? Will we see 3,400 before we see 4,400?
Oh, it's a hard one. Sure, maybe, but it's going to be a long time before that happens.
Before 3,400? Okay. All right. Because it only took about
I think it's going to be flat for a while.
Okay, flat. All right. Right around 4,000 for a while.
I think so. It's with rates coming down, I think things get a little funny.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's like you have like the tension getting tighter, right? So you have rates coming down, and so there's reason for people not to want to buy gold and want to get back into other assets. On the other hand, rates coming down make gold want to go up because it's hard currency. So there's this tension that I could see it. Yeah. So I don't know what happens with gold. But even Bitcoin, I'm looking at right now, it's 112,000. I mean, maybe we're about to get to that, but it's 112,000, and it's interesting. The market's at all-time highs now, and you see what happened with Nvidia and Tesla and Palantir and just everything today. And here's Bitcoin down at 112,000.
Yeah, exactly. And Ethereum, which Tom Lee said again today, will more than double by the end of the year. He still believes it. Still believes that Bitcoin will double or hit 200,000 by the end of the year.
What's Ethereum at? Like 20,000, 30,000, something like that?
What?
I have no. What's Ethereum at? I have no idea what's at.
Call it 4,000. It's just under 4,000.
Oh, I thought it was like 20 or 30. I know nothing about it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I missed what I missed back here. No, I got silver. Silver down a little bit, but still sitting at $47, which is only about $10 higher than its all-time high for many, 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 many decades. Copper up 0.09. It's been, I don't know if you knew they had this big copper mine cave in, like the second biggest copper mine in the world. And so it's gone up above $5 and kind of been hanging around there.
I did not know that.
Okay. The what do you call it? The equities are flat, just about as flat. Well, okay. Dow's down 0.08, S&P down up 0.01, and the NASDAQ up 0.04. That's pretty flat going into tomorrow. Yeah. Do we have flat opening tomorrow and in front of the Fed decision?
Well, it's gonna be fun. The reason I say this because tomorrow's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be pretty. No, actually, all right. The market's always flat going into these meetings, always, and it gets chaotic afterwards.
Yeah.
Here's my prediction, Randy. We are up out the gate tomorrow because the market already knows what's going to happen.
Okay. And do they sell on the news?
We sell off with a hawkish Powell, and once he stops talking, we rally again. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Even if he's hawkish.
Yeah.
Now, if one guy said today, he's just going to point to the dot plot from the last meeting and say, that's what the dot plot suggests another cut in December. Yeah. That's all he's going to say.
The best thing about Powell at this point is that we've seen so much of him that we know exactly what he's going to say before he says
it. There is some degree of truth to that. All right. Any last words of wisdom other than people should absolutely buy the book, and not only buy the book, but they should buy copies of it for their children, their grandchildren, anybody that's nearly going into the workforce or is already in the workforce should get this book immediately, because if your kids and grandkids aren't planning to be outstanding at working with automated generative, well, both digital and human and real world, if they're not preparing themselves, I mean, it'd be like being in the 70s and not or the 80s and not knowing how to work Microsoft Word.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, look, it can't hurt you to buy it. It's not an expensive book. It's a good read based on written by a lot of people that you guys all probably like. Who happen to be people who are right a lot, right? I always say, listen to people who are right a lot. Doesn't mean we're right, but it's a good read. It's a interesting topic, which if you're still listening, you're probably interested in the topic. And it helps you build out a beautiful library like what Randy has. So go buy it.
That's right. Yeah, in fact, just get all of my books and put them on one shelf. Most of them are still available on Amazon. Yeah. Nicholas Gibbs, as always, I don't know if you have any other, word of finality here or something to stimulate people's brains.
Highly recommend a self-dampening toilet seat.
Self-dampening. Does that mean where you close it and it goes down slow? No.
Correct.
Is that what it is? Oh, yeah. 100%. I agree with you.
I've had them for years, but I'll go into other people's houses or whatever, and every time slam, I'm like, this is
that and a 6-foot towel. Every man could have a 6-foot towel. Not to have a 6-foot towel, it's like luxury. It's like such a difference.
Yeah.
With that, Nick Gibbs, we will say
bid you adieu.
It's been great talking to you.